Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet. It is Thursday. It is May the 22nd. We are almost to June already. That being said, the Chicago Blackhawks have officially named their head coach. This was reported yesterday. I talked about it in yesterday's news video. Blashill is the head coach for the Chicago Blackhawks. We'll see how things work. Also, noteworthy is that Michael Pekka leaves the Rangers organization to go to Chicago and become an assistant coach there. So, yeah, change of the coaching staff for Chicago, and we'll see how all that goes. I think Mike Pekka and his ability to play as a two-way player in the National Hockey League make him a good candidate to eventually become a head coach in the NHL. So, Blashill, the head coach in Chicago right now. We'll see how things go from this season. The Winnipeg Jets, they're facing Nick Ehlers, potentially going to market. And we're up to that part of the year where I don't blame players for not necessarily signing a contract. Wouldn't you want to know what everybody's going to offer you? So you're well paid and you got a good employment, but you got 31 other bosses who might be in the mix to maybe be your next employer, and you're still doing the same job that you love to do. So I don't blame a player for going to market. I really don't. I don't get mad at him for it at all. So Ehlers, they want to re-sign him. Kevin Cheveldayoff saying they want him to be a Winnipeg Jet for life. But if Ehlers decides he wants to find out what's out there on July the 1st, that's absolutely within his rights. This is why when teams are like, we're not worried about the UFAs right now, we'll sign him after the season's done. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it does not. So we'll see if Ehlers ends up sticking around with the Jets, or if he chooses to go to market. The Boston Bruins have not got their coach yet. They're getting close. Apparently, according to Pierre LeBrun, they're conducting some interviews next week with some of the candidates, and they're the same candidates we've heard, around other jobs as well. And then the coaching decision will come after those interviews have taken place. So maybe 2 weeks from now, we'll have a new coach for the Boston Bruins. We'll probably have a better idea for who it's between once these interviews are done. We'll hear who's in and who's out. But for Boston, it's more than I think just a coaching change that needed to be made here. I think there needs to be a change in their philosophy. If they decide to go for it and try to get back to the playoffs next year, we're probably going to get a video from me discussing that. Matthias Ekholm is officially ruled out for Game 2 tomorrow night between Dallas and Edmonton, which makes a difference. Dallas's ability to get those 5 goals in the third period last night, absolutely ridiculous. And getting Ekholm out there would definitely help the Oilers defensively. But yeah, that PK has got to be better than that, or else Dallas could take Edmonton out. If they can get another win tomorrow night, get up 2-0. I know the Oilers came back from 2-0 down against the Kings, but the Stars are not the Kings. So very important game tomorrow night for the Oilers. We'll see how that turns out, but Ekholm will not be in the lineup for them there. The World Championships, and just reporting on the early games from today, the other two being in progress as I was putting the board together. The USA defeating Finland 5-2 to qualify for the semifinals, so they've got a good shot at a medal. And Switzerland ending Austria's dream with a 6-0 win, I should say. Austria being in the quarterfinals. Big news for them, great for them, and hopefully this bodes well for them in the future. But yeah, Switzerland 6-0 win there. Not really a huge surprise. Sweden and Czechia, as well as Canada, Denmark being the other two games that are going down. It is highly likely we'll see Sweden and Canada joining Switzerland and the USA, and that could make for some really fun semifinals. In the AHL last night, one series finished. The other two are now 2-1. Laval beat Rochester 4-1, so they're up 2-1 in their series. Charlotte completed the sweep of Hershey. Hershey's out, so the two-time defending champions out. Charlotte beating them 6-3, so the Checkers move on to the next round. Texas beat Milwaukee 6-1, so Texas is up 2-1, and Abbotsford beat Colorado in overtime 3-2. So Linus Karlsson with the overtime winner. Abbotsford's up 2-1. Maybe there is a chance that in the next round, who knows? Maybe I could go to an Abbotsford home game in the playoffs. Maybe it could be in that Western final, perhaps. Maybe Texas and so it'd be like Dallas, Vancouver. It'd be that kind of feeling. And that could be a really fun series. So fingers crossed, but until that third win is across the finish line, not getting ready for any Abbotsford home games as of yet, but hopeful, absolutely. The PWHL final gets started again tonight, starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. It is Ottawa, this team here, at home against Minnesota. Ottawa's up 1-0, so The thing is, if Ottawa wins this, I don't know that it makes this any more marketable as a logo. It really gives off NCAA Wildcats energy. But either way, the Charge up 1-0, and we'll see if they can get up 2-0 on Minnesota. Keeping in mind that Toronto at one point looked like they had the advantage on Minnesota, and then nope, Minnesota took that back. So the Frost are dangerous, but maybe Ottawa's going to get this done. We shall see. And tonight in the National Hockey League, starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, Florida leading the series 1-0 and looking to go up 2-0. Florida's 6-2 on the road in these playoffs, and Carolina coming into this game, pretty sure they hadn't lost a home game in the playoffs. So that's something that Carolina's going to have to get back. Plus, the penalty kill for Carolina that looked fantastic the first 2 rounds. Florida's power play looked pretty good. So Carolina's going to have to get back to doing what they do. It looks like Jankowski, who's healthy, it looks like he's going to play today. It looks like Kotkaniemi comes out of the lineup. And it looks like Morrow's going to stay in on the blue line. I'm very surprised by that. I'm surprised Nikishin is not playing instead. And I say that because I think there's more upside with Nikishin than with Morrow. Maybe this is a situation where Brindamore's more familiar with Morrow, knows what to expect than he might with Nikishin. Either way, we'll see how things work out for Carolina tonight. Florida's lineup, I believe, is exactly the same as they had in Game 1. Why change things when you're winning, right? Why break something that's definitely not broke? Why even risk it? So with all of that going on, all those playoffs, also the Memorial Cup starts tomorrow. They have the big opening tonight, but the first game is tomorrow. Medicine Hat versus Rimouski. And then on Saturday, so tomorrow's game is at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then on Saturday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, Moncton faces London. So Medicine Hat, Rimouski, Moncton, London, your 4 finalists. And we'll see whether or not the Memorial Cup ends up being won by Rimouski, London, Moncton, or Medicine Hat. Personally, I'll go ahead and say I'm rooting for the Medicine Hat Tigers, which is usually the kiss of death in the Memorial Cup. Whichever team I go, you know what? Be fun to see them win it. They don't. So hopefully, Medicine Hat comes through and gets it. But either way, it should be some really fun hockey, and it is high quality hockey as well. So in the event that maybe you're not as interested in Florida, Carolina, maybe the PWHL final might interest you. And if not, then maybe the Memorial Cup will interest you tomorrow. And the Memorial Cup runs to, I think, the finals on June the 1st. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, including who you think's going to win this game tonight, because I could see this going either way. I feel like Florida right now looks unstoppable, but I think Carolina is also a very well-coached, very good team. They need goals. It is that storyline every single playoff. At some point in time, the scoring dries up for Carolina. They need a goal early. I would say a 2-goal lead would be even better after the first period. If they're up 2-0, that'd be great for them. But Florida doesn't look like the kind of team that's interested in being down 2-0 in a game. They look more like a team that's more interested in being up 2-0 in the series. So let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.